we're talking about three things. Listening. How do we listen? We have to listen within ourselves. Why do we listen? To get rid of suffering. What are we listening to? We're listening to the naad of our own self. Our naad. What do we mean by naad? That when the mind stops talking for a moment, the thing that is listening to the mind, that's what we're finding. The one that is listening to the mind, that is what our meditation is getting us to. This is why when we do mantra jap, it's very important. Right at the beginning we say, don't let your mind go somewhere else and your mantra go somewhere else. Bring them in sync. The mind has to be reciting that. Then what do we say? Drop expectations of the mind. Because even if the mind is saying what the words are saying, the mind is still hoping for something. There's still some desire somewhere. Drop those. Just listen. Just be present in what you're saying. Complete and utter awareness of just the mantra as it's coming out of your mouth, going into your ears. Just be present in that mantra. Then you drop the one who is sitting there still saying, I hope something happens. You drop the person doing the mantra jap and just sit within presence. Because even if you drop the mind, if you drop the ego, you're not into a void. There's still something there. There's still a someone there. There's still a man, little me, waving in the background saying, I'm still here. That I am is the one that what we're going to focus on in Suniya. That is your naad. The I am that doesn't belong to you but it's just there. The light bulb in the house is aware of its own light. Yeah? Going back to that bricks and fortress analogy that we started all those weeks ago. The light becomes aware of its own light. Not what it's shining on, not what it's thinking about, not what it's talking about, not what it holds on to, but just that the fact that it is on. This is why Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that ego is the problem, but ego is also the solution. Haume dirag roga hai. It is a chronic disease, but the solution, the medicine is daru bhi ismai. The medicine is also there. Because we're not getting rid of the ego and left with nothing. We dropped the thing that says I am, that this is me. That's all we're dropping. But there is something there that can't be dropped. That can't be denied. The aliveness is there. The association with the aliveness is what we're dropping. The mind saying, you know that little bit of jyot inside you? That's me. That's my soul. That's I am. That's not you. That's Paramatma. Yeah? So the what we're listening to is something very critical here. And what will be the benefit of doing all of this hard work? Pauri number 6. Mat vich Ratan Jawahar Manik Je ik gur ki sikh suni. If you listen to this instruction, if you listen to this gur ki sikh, the Guru's teaching, everything turns into diamonds and jewels and rubies. But you have to do this. You cannot ignore this, otherwise you get stuck at this pauri. You will never begin pauri number 8. We've understood everything so far, but if we don't do this, if we don't, within our meditation, focus on the one doing the meditation, not what we're saying. This is why Guru Granth Sahib Ji has thousands of different mantras. Tu har har, Vaheguru, Vaho Vaho. Bani isn't focused on which particular mantra. It's focused on where that mantra is going to take you. Gurmukh Nadan. This is why JAPJI Sahib is so complicated. We think JAPJI Sahib is the introduction to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's not. JAPJI Sahib is the root on what the whole Guru Granth Sahib is standing on. If Guru Granth Sahib Ji is a tree, it's standing on the root of JAPJI Sahib. That's why JAPJI Sahib is where all the deep information is. Then you spend the rest of Guru Granth Sahib Ji trying to understand what JAPJI Sahib is trying to say. That's why it's deep. Don't be afraid of it. It is deep. Now we're ready to start Suniye. So the Pauri starts, Suniye Sid Pir Sur Nath. A quick note about pronunciation of the word Suniye. Firstly, there is Anana. A lot of people say Suniye, Nanna. They say it with a Nanna, but this is not Nanna, this is Anana. Suniye, Ana. It's got that sound. Secondly, it's a Sihari, not a Bihari. Some people say Suniye with the Bihari. They elongate the E sound. Suniye. This is a very short E sound. Suniye. Very short. Finally, it's got dulam, not a lam, which is the two lines, the last vowel on top of the erda. Suniye, not suniye. Slight difference, yeah? Not suniye. Suniye. It's got an air sound to it. This sihari within the word suniye makes the word a present tense, listening now. By listening now, by being in a state of listening. If the word had a Bihari, suniye, with a long E sound, it's a future tense word. Gaviye, suniye. Do this, go away and do this. Yeah? Guruji is saying, Gaviye, suniye, man rakhiye pao. That's a future tense word. Go and do this. This is now we're doing it. We're in it. Suniye, Sid Pir Surnath. So the word Sid is a word meaning miracle performers. Siddhiyan. We hear Riddhiyan Siddhiyan, people who could do miracles. Yeah? And Sid is plural, doesn't have an onkar underneath it. So miracle performers. Pir is a Persian word, Islamic word, meaning some sort of spiritual master. It's the closest word, I suppose, to guru within that sort of Persian sort of language. Pir. But here again, Pir is plural, doesn't have an onkar underneath it. So it means spiritual masters. Sur, again, plural, and it means devte, demigods, devi devte. Nath, plural again. Nath is yogic masters, those who've taken yoga to a level where they've become a master of that yoga. Guruji is saying, Suniye Sid Pir Surnath. By listening, one reaches the level of Sid, of miracle workers, of Pir, spiritual masters, of Devi Devte, and yogic masters. Simple question. Is this really possible? I always like to bring it back to us, normal people. Yeah? Nanak nirgun gun kare. We're the nirgun. Yeah? The simple common folk. Do we honestly believe that we can reach this level? Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying yes. But let's talk about us. Is it possible to obtain this level simply by doing the kind of listening that we do? We go to the Gurdwara, we listen to Kirtan, listen to Path. Can we obtain this level? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji this is not some one-off claim that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is making. Guruji makes this claim time and time again. Yeah? Beginning of Asa Diwar, you've heard me quote this line before. Balhari gur apne deohari sadwar. I'm a sacrifice to that Guru hundreds and thousands of times a day. Jin manas te devte kiye. Karat na lagi var. who can turn mankind into devtas in an instant. So Guruji is not just saying this once. This message comes again and again. That you and me and ordinary people can be elevated to the state of a Devi Devta. Do we honestly believe this is possible? Because if you don't believe it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to practice it. You're not going to try. Yeah? Remember, we can try as hard as we want. Yeah? Karmi ave kapda nadri mokuvar. This karam, kirpa, grace, this idea we've covered so much, time and time again. Yeah? Jetis nadar na ave. But koshish ta karna hi panna. We have to try, right? We have to do a little bit of effort. So, with the kind of listening that we do, listening to Path, listening to Kirtan, is that enough? Is that the kind of listening that we are talking about here? If you just go to the Gurdwara every day and listen to the Path, is that Suniya Siddh Peer Surnath? Because you might believe it is. Just go to the Gurdwara and listen to a bit of Kirtan. But listening to Kirtan is at a superficial level. The Kirtan has to go in to the point at which the one doing the listening is the one that's shining. Not what it's listening to, but the one doing the listening starts becoming overflowing. Because what are we focusing on? Gurmukh Nadang. We're trying to find the Nad. Yeah? We're trying to find our aliveness. So we have to kind of dissect a little bit, what kind of listening do we do? What are the levels of listening that we experience on every day? So for me, there are 4 stages of listening. At the very basic level, there's hearing. Yeah, what we do with our ears. You hear a sound. You hear a noise. Yeah. Phone might be ringing in the distance. You hear it, but it doesn't register anything. So the second level is that where the sound actually makes some impact on your brain. Your brain actually does something with that information. What is sound? Sound is information, right? But within our brain, something has to process that information. The brain has to say, that's useful sound. Like if it's a phone ringing and we're not at home, it's somebody else's home, it's not a useful sound to us. The brain just chooses. Yeah, think about brain like receiving all this information, saying, yeah, I need that, I don't need that. Let's say it's like you hear a crash outside. Your brain says, oh, I might need that. Yeah, that might be useful to you. What is that? Or a car alarm goes off. Your brain says, is that my car alarm? Your brain processes all the sounds and says yes or no. So that's the second level of listening, where we're listening and we're understanding what we're hearing. Then I think that there are more levels of listening, which is that we can start sensing with our body. We can start feeling. So if somebody is talking to us, you can just listen to what they're saying, like me, blah, blah, blah. He's just talking. But if somebody's saying something really important to you, or they're really pouring their heart out to you, you will listen, you will process, and you will start absorbing that emotion to the point at which you can start feeling the emotion that they're feeling. It happens with music quite a lot as well. That the brain manifests that sound not into that's just a very nice song, but it manifests that into emotion. So the emotion coming from the singer, from the music, becomes something that you feel. You start sensing that. So that's, I think, level 3 of listening. The fourth, I think, is awareness. We listen with awareness. That is the step beyond the mind, where we're not processing what we're listening to. We're just aware of the listening itself. So the first 3 levels require sound coming in, us processing, us doing something with it. It's focusing on the sound and the content of the sound. The 4th level is focusing on the one doing the listening. We never really focus on that, right? Any noise that comes in, any sound that comes in, we do the first 3 levels. We listen with our ears, we process with our brain, we might feel the emotion, but we never take the sound out and actually just listen to the one doing the listening. That's where you're going in. Yeah, we talked about, we've mentioned this time and time again about this being an inner journey. Now's the time to start going in. Yeah? And it is at this level that I think Guru is trying to get us at. This is the level of Soniya Siddh Peer Surnath, where the one doing the listening is more important than what it is listening to.